Hey y'all, welcome back to Conservative Brother Daily, a black conservative face trapped in a woke ass place. Back with another one. Might get the YouTube censor on that one. But Mike Tyson, Jake Paul, buck breaking. Did we witness a buck breaking of Mike Tyson? Or was it just another money grab? I know it's pretty much old news by now, but the big Friday night fight with Netflix, apparently between the champion, or obviously the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world, Mike Tyson, versus Jake Paul. Was this a buck breaking or just another money grab? I mean, there's a lot of backlash going on right now. I watched the fight myself with some friends, and honestly, um, it was pretty overhyped. But at the same time, this is the attention economy. Love or hate Jake Paul, the guy went from YouTuber to influencer to last 4 years, what he's accomplished in a short amount of time in his boxing career. He has brought back more eyeballs to the boxing game. He's someone that, love him or hate him, he demands attention. He gets the attention. So I at least got to give my man credit where it's due, instead of just being these little Jake Paul haters running around thinking the karma ain't gonna come back for them, or wonder why they hate where they are in life because they can't even sit there and at least respect greatness for what it is, for what Jake has carved out in his own lane. With that being said, this fight, was supposed to happen back in July. It's been kind of pumped up since early last year, mid last year, last couple years now. And I just posed the question, like, what did Mike Tyson ultimately, uh, sacrifice for this? I mean, he got his 20 million, he got his bag. Jake Paul got his bag as well. But was this sort of a, sort of white culture vulture passing of the guard, being able to, capitalize off of this man in a way? I don't think it tarnishes Tyson's legacy, but once again, like, it's a weird sort of dynamic where, okay, you got Jake Paul just for the sake of attention going to fight this guy 31 years his senior. All you can really say is, hey, I fought in the ring with Mike Tyson. I don't think this really affects his boxing credibility. I mean, in some way, because he's getting some pushback for that. Like, you did this just for the eyeballs. This wasn't like a match evenly fight. And Mike Tyson obviously did it for his bag as well. And also another weird aspect, and once again, this is nothing new for boxing, boxing events where, people got to drum up. They got to be a showman. One thing about Jake Paul and Mike Tyson, they are both showmen. I mean, obviously, Jake Paul has done a lot of showmanship for this fight. I think at the weigh-in, the dude's crawling up to Mike Tyson on his hands and feet like a crab, while Mike Tyson's wearing the Speedo, and basically Mike ends up slapping him. So it's like a weird sort of, it's a showmanship. It's going to get viral. People go on social media and go crazy. So I think Mike Tyson and Jake Paul definitely know the game of that, and that's what kind of makes it all the more interesting. But I just can't help but feel like, uh, what did Mike Tyson ultimately, he's still going to be the undisputed champ. So I think at this point, it's like you can't really tarnish me or do what or do anything to me. I've already accomplished what I've accomplished. I'm doing this just for the bag. So it kind of makes me wonder at the same time. You got the guy walking out in a Speedo, which I haven't seen that at a weigh in who knows how long. So he's getting attention. And then, of course, there's an infamous moment pre interview, because this is all Netflix live. And Mike Tyson was just like, fuck it, I'm going to just go for it. And the guy just, as soon as he finishes some locker room interview, the camera pans out. Mike Tyson turns around, and it's his bare ass on live Netflix for like millions of people to see. So I was just kind of like, what was that? What did I just watch? I mean, I'm sure we can kind of look at an old compilation and see a number of crazy things over the years. And I feel like Tyson knew, yeah, it's Netflix. I can get away with that. I can't get away with that at regular network TV. So my only issue is like, yes, did Mike Tyson do this just because, hey, I'm Mike Tyson, I'm doing what I want to do, I'm a free man, free black man of my own autonomy. If I want to get this $20 million bag, and I feel like showing up to the weigh-in the speedo. When the locker room interview is over, I turn around with my bare ass showing. I did that because I'm Mike Tyson and I can't be bought or paid for. I'm doing it just for that. If that's truly how Mike Tyson feels, like, hey, I ain't here for your integrity. I ain't a role model for your kids. I did that because I can screw you. That I can respect. That I don't have no issue with. You know, but if it's anything where Mike Tyson, I'm not saying he's being influenced. I highly doubt Mike Tyson is like a Epstein, Diddy compromise type of person. But I just couldn't help, like, in my gut, have this feeling that this is kind of like DJ Vlad TV vibes of this white culture vulture, Jake Paul. Once again, I respect him on his own level, coming in and going like, let me get in on this black culture. Let me get some attention. Let me fight Mike Tyson just for the attention. We know that's pretty much part of it. He wasn't doing that just to get practice and be like, "Oh, I honor you so much." Like it wasn't. It was a kind of a culture vulture attention grab on his end, along with getting that $40 million bag. So my biggest thing, I just want to question. I think there's no right or wrong here. Mike Tyson is a free thinking black man who has the autonomy to fight whoever he wants to fight for however much money he wants to make, and then do whatever silly shenanigans on camera he wants to do. I'm not disputing that. I'm just asking, and just a question, because this is like a part of a bigger lesson. Because a friend of mine even called me a couple of days later, and at first I didn't really understand what he kind of meant by this. He was like, "Bro, I figured out this whole fight was a money grab, bro. This was a money grab." And I'm like, "What? Of course it is. They're both making a huge bag off of this. Of course it was a money grab. What are you talking about? That's what all boxing is." He was like, "No, bro. This is the first time we had really seen a person from a completely different field. You know, Jake Paul being this YouTuber turned boxer the past 4 years. And what's going to happen, this money grab is going to open up people from one entire new field just jumping into a new lane. And the amount of attention and money is going to create." So I had to think about it for a little bit. Yeah, because once again, you got somebody from one completely different lane immediately jumping into the next one. And yeah, that's been happening. You know, I feel like that's been happening a lot more, maybe the last 5, 10 years. But this was maybe the floodgates of that, where you may see people from a different field, music, getting into movies, or it's dying mean, or maybe have a UFC fighter and he's gonna get into like the slap series, like the slap fighting on YouTube. So I don't think that's nothing new. But I think this kind of opened the floodgates to that on a whole new level, where you're going to get these plants, or if anything, this was just a psyop at the end of the day, where you're going to get these plants. And once again, Jake Paul's self-made. I'm not saying he's a plant, but to an extent, you can get these people just sort of buy in through attention, through their influence. They can just buy in and just jump into a completely different field. So I think that's kind of what he was hinting at, on how this guy can just jump into boxing, and then not only boxing, but now they took boxing into the first Netflix live stream boxing event, and this can open up for the UFC and all the other different things. So yeah, that's just my only thing. Was this comment below? Do you think this was a buck breaking of Jake Paul? I mean, of Mike Tyson, or do you think, hey, these are just guys that just want to get the attention, get the bag at the end of the day? Was Mike Tyson just doing all this on his own free will? Like, hey, I'm a free black man. I could do what I want. I can give as much money as I want. I could bear my ass if I want. Whatever. I've already made my millions. I've already made my championships. I'm just gonna do some silly stuff. Or do you think there was some sort of buck breaking involved? Like, hey, you're gonna kind of move a little slow. You're gonna kind of do that. We're gonna give it to Jake. We got this bag for you. We're gonna need you to bear your ass. We're gonna need you to wear this speedo. I highly doubt that you could be able to tell Mike Tyson to do that. But if that's just Mike Tyson doing what he wants to do on his own autonomy, I'm cool with that. Or was there a little bit more of an underlying buck breaking agenda involved? Yeah, I'm gonna bring that up because it has to be said just in case. So let me know what you guys think. Was a Mike Tyson Jake Paul fight? It was pretty much a wash on my end. It made for a fun night out, but it wasn't anything epic. Just another attention grabs. What do you guys think? Was the Mike Tyson Jake Paul fight legit? Was Mike Tyson buck breaked or any way? or is this fight already doesn't matter and nobody cares anymore? Let me know what you guys think. I will talk to you guys next time.